Alright guys, so I've been getting a lot of questions about how to deal with the Feral Druid in Demoner. And I also wanted to make a old style video like I used to back in the day. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the main thing against facing a Feral Druid is you want to maximize your distance away from him, because how he gets kills is by bleeding both people and pressuring you immensely, and that's exactly what he does. So you want to keep your range as much as possible. You don't really have to worry about the Paladin too much, but he will come for Hodges and reps on you depending if he's running rep. But the Feral is going to want to run to you and try to get bleeds. You're going to see him. He's going to run to me. I'm getting away. But look at this, as he's wasting time trying to get me, my warrior does a really good stun, by the way, because he gets to me and he stuns him. But as he's trying to get to me, look at where the positioning. I controlled the game at this point if he does this. The Druid is behind LOS between his healer and him, and he's at 60% in a full stun. Stuff is not looking too good right off the bat. So again, you're going to want to try to control the game. If there is a Feral Druid, and maximize range and make it so he can only DPS one person. You will eventually win that 1v1 fight depending on your DPS. That you should, unless you're playing with like a mage. But if you're playing with a mage, you're already doing it wrong. So you should be able to win this DPS fight. He gets wrecked. I end up going for a cycle on the Paladin. I get his trinket, and then you know what? I keep running. I pop my dots onto the Feral Druid, try to do as much as I can, help out with the pressure, and you're gonna decide whether you want to go back and forth. Again, it's just all about keeping max range. So is it worth it to try to get over there? It might be worth it to sit behind pillar, but if the Paladin's on top of you as well, he's gonna get a Hodge on you, so it might be worth to try to go long distance instead of going ring around a rosy on one spot. I know I said a lot right there, but we're gonna go ahead and keep watching. I'm basically just showing you what I'm preaching to is I'm just running away from him constant, trying to max range. It's all about the uptime for your warrior to get as much pressure out as he can. If you can do that without the Druid being able to multi-pressure you and your teammate, you pretty much win. You pretty much win. That was an unforged repentance by the Holy Paladin. As you can see, he has his little fast cast. It's very hard to dodge that because it's less than a second. I think it's like 0.7 second cast, and that's very hard. That's less than a global. So if he gets me at all between a global, I'm screwed essentially. So that's normally how fast a rep is. I get a Cyclone onto the Feral because I'm trying to top my boy off because I have Innervate. And look at this damage that we have. We have so much pressure. Again, the Feral wants to come to me so bad, but he can't because I'm just running, man. I'm just a runner, dude. This is all you have to do. If you can get some CC, if the Paladin's in bad positioning, you should be able to get some CC. And you should be able to eventually win over time. But this team, what you gotta watch out for. Eventually, this team hasn't realized yet, but they need to control the game, and how they control the game is by going behind pillar. And they're forcing my warrior to go behind LOS between me and him. So if they force my warrior LOS, I start to fall behind. So your warrior or whatever DPS you're playing with has to watch his LOS. So it can be very difficult because he wants to do damage. He doesn't want them to reset. So sometimes he will push in. So when he does that, you can overgrowth. You can pop wall even on him. You can even pop thorns on him so he can play aggressive. You pop thorns when he goes to LOS. Guess what? The Feral's not going to want to hit him. He's going to want to come after you. So that's something you're going to have to realize. I don't think this team realizes that at any point. They do LOS, but they end up LOSing and coming back in my line. So that tells me they had the right idea, but they just don't know how to execute it properly. So as you can see, we're getting some major cooldowns popping from them while they're getting almost nothing to us. But again, as the rest of Druids, we don't really have cooldowns. Our cooldowns are Iron Bark and Bark Skin, and those aren't really like the biggest cooldowns. And we have Thorns too, which is pretty huge, but they're very minor cooldowns. If you're wondering what MMR we're at 2k to 2100. I'll show the MMR in the next game. There isn't a whole lot to talk about in this game. That's what I've told you so far is how everything should go down. So here is another game I've been getting a lot of questions asked about is how to face a Demoner. Demoners bang in twos, dampening hurts you. Demoners are just straight up hard. So you're gonna want to do the exact same thing. But this time I'm running Feral Finny. I will go for CC onto the rest of Shaman. I could go for a rep or a hibernate onto the Shaman, but I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather just get the clone and hug that pillar. But the Demoner is going to want to hit you as much as possible. So again, your eyes are going to be on this Demoner practically all game. He's coming around there. Say, yoink it. I'm going over here. This pillar, I don't want to be touched. And that's all I'm going to be doing. If the Demoner pushes on me right here, he's pushing up on me, I run. That's pretty much it. This Shaman needs to help his Demoner and able to touch me. If this Demoner doesn't get help, this Demoner is not going to touch me all game. He's not going to touch me. I'm just going to be able to kite him, and I'm going to be able to basically just throw him down, and my warrior is going to be on their Restless Shaman. My warrior is a Fury warrior. He's very hard. You can't slow him because every time he bloodthirsts, he gets his freedom and his speed boost. So my warrior is going to have uptime on the Restless Shaman while I'm just constantly kiting this Demoner. And this is essentially how you want to do it. If he does get to me, you can thorns yourself, and you can also bleed him up, which will cause a lot of pressure. He's going to want to try to dispel that thorns, so you're going to want to try to protect that thorns with rejuves and life bloom and all that jazz. You could eventually go for a overgrowth, but I don't think that's worth. So I was able to get a stun and into a hibernate until the shaman. I saw that the Demoner was really far, so I thought I could go for the hibernate. The shaman would have shifted that hibernate. I would have went to a cyclone. If I'm talking really fast, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I should pause the video, but I'm just trying to get all the information out there as much as I can. This team is doing the exact same thing that the other team did wrong. He's LOSing, which is good. He's forcing my guy behind pillar. But you know what they end up doing? They end up running around back into my line. Don't do that. Sit behind the pillar. If I start to run around, then you can run around, but you have to keep in position. You have to keep in mind of my positioning, and that's what a lot of teams are screwing up at. I end up going for another stealth. I see that my Cyclone's coming off DR. The stun DR on both these targets are coming off, so I'm able to get a rake and bash into a Cyclone on possibly to the Demon to keep him low or whatever I want to do. Here's a mistake that Mario Warrior does. It actually really triggered me. He does this multiple times. Again, you don't need to have a good DPS to be able to push rating. You yourself need to be good, but again, you don't have to be like insanely good, but you just have to be good enough to be able to recognize this kind of stuff. The Warrior comes in. He's about to DR Fear. My Restless Shaman kind of tilts me because it's halfway off DR. We should be able to land a kill. Next go, because look how low he is. Look how low he is. The Shaman should be popping like Ascendance at this point or something at least to be able to get him up. So my Warrior ends up fearing him, which is a double DR Fear. We end up getting a link into a darkness. I end up full bashing the shaman. The Demoner is trying to stop me. He banishes me. That Demoner honestly should have banished my warrior because he's under so much pressure. They need to stop the pressure coming in so the shaman has time to top off. We end up getting, oh damn, this shaman is really triggering me, man. This shaman is really triggering me. He ends up DR and stunning into the rest of shaman. If he would have just held that because DR is coming off on the Demoner, he could have maybe got a lot more out of that. So what here they are, they're gonna do again. They don't really cap on it. They don't do it right. I was really scared of my warrior going behind pillars. So what I end up doing is I end up overgrowthing him because I don't have all my hots. So I overgrowth him because I feel like he's gonna go behind pillar. Ends up not going behind pillar. Ends up coming back in my line. These games are 2K to 2100. I'm sure you guys can push this rating too if I can as well. And I don't even have that great of gear. I don't have the stat priority. Like I'm supposed to be versatility. I'm supposed to have like 20% versatility. I have like 2. I have nothing. So we end up getting another stun onto the rest of Shaman. They still have all the trinkets. I don't know what they're holding the trinkets on too. I end up walling and popping thorns on my boy. I keep forgetting to put freaking Maledict on my bar. This is potentially scary. If that shaman, let's see. If that shaman would have stayed right here, the Demoner would have moved right here, and they would have played along the lines of that, of trying to LOS me, I could be as much trouble as in they are, even though they're both really low. So not as much trouble, but it could actually pressure me a lot more. And the Demoner keeps hitting into my warrior with thorns. The Demoner should just come to me. Just if you see thorns, just get off the guy. If you have high mobility, just get off him. Don't hit in that. Like, do not hit in that unless your healer tells you to and you're 100%. Do not do that. You will fall behind. This is 2s. Dampening is insane. So the Demoner is really probably panicking a lot right now because he's super low HP. Everyone's super low HP. The Shaman finally pops Ascendance. They both have their trinket for some weird reason. Even though we're putting a lot of stuns and CC into them. This Demoner is still hitting my thorns. I end up deciding this is a pressure time for me. I feel safe enough because we're both high enough and they're both low enough that I feel like I can finally help and do some damage. But there is a risk. If you do this and they do recover, you will be on the backside trying to recover back. But I take that gamble. I decide it's worth. I end up doing a full bash into the Demoner. Try to get a cycle on the Shaman. I get grounding. Boom. Down goes the Demoner. So, as you can see, these games are 2K to 2100. It's not bad if I could do it. You guys can too. I didn't do anything special. My DPS didn't do anything special. You just got to know how the proper strat should be played. And that's pretty much the knowledge of WoW currently. Make sure to smash that like button. Hit that subscribe. Make sure to go to my Twitch because I know you all watch Twitch. There's no way you guys don't watch Twitch. Go to my Twitch, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, hit that donation button too. Donate, even if I'm not streaming, just donate me. I'm suffering, dude. I want to pay my editor, okay? I got bills to pay. But all seriousness, I love you guys. Thank you so much for the love and support. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. Get your 2K, get your 2100. Come back to me. Let me know about it. By the way, if you want me to go over some of your content, let me know. Send me some footage over Discord. I do have a Discord. Go to my Twitch and do !Discord. It should send you a invite. Hope to see you guys there.